Hello, Shakthi. How are you doing today?
Hey Natalia, I'm good. How are you?
I'm wet. It's the weather, right? It's crazy. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's what I can say. But I think it's a beautiful weather to discuss Microsoft. I did my home task. I read a little bit about the company. Firstly, some interesting facts about Microsoft. Do you know where the name come from? It's
No.
easy. Come on. Microsoft.
Software, fine. What is micro?
Wait. It was somewhere there. Uh, Microcomputer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And the company was founded in 1975. I wasn't born at that time. So what they have, I think it's like third company in US that reached $1 trillion.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that amount of
Yeah.
this is? What would you do if you had that much?
Well, can't even imagine.
Well, they're adopting all the new technologies which are coming. And gaming, I actually didn't know that, but Microsoft bought Minecraft. I didn't know that Minecraft is by
Yeah.
Microsoft. Did you know that?
Yeah, I've
I
heard that
didn't
news
know
long
it.
time back. They paid a huge amount of money to buy it from the creator. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's best-selling video game.
Yeah, they also
And
bought Activision Blizzard recently. That was a big
yes,
purchase. 68
yes,
billion,
yes.
if I remember.
Yeah. So, they're giants. I was also quite interested in relationships between Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. I know that you are a big fan of
Yeah.
Warren Buffett, so I couldn't skip that. Warren has a lot of respect to Bill Gates, but
Interesting fact
yeah,
with that
tell me.
relationship.
Yeah.
Uh, I think Bill Gates was influenced by Buffett's style of investing and he wanted to spread the risk. So I think he sold most of his Microsoft stock to create a portfolio which has multiple other stocks, right? Now, the thing is, if Bill Gates had never sold any of his stocks, he would be worth way more than what he has now. So I don't know. See, investing is so challenging. Even Warren Buffett or Bill Gates, it's very hard to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And I also heard that despite of the fact that there is a really close friendship between Bill Gates and Warren Buffett never purchased Microsoft
Yes.
stocks. And one of the reasons he just didn't want to mix friendship and work, so it's more like
Yeah.
being
Also,
professional.
Buffett doesn't invest in companies which he doesn't understand. So he
Yeah.
was not able to understand what value Microsoft was bringing to the table because he's not a technology person, right? So it for several decades, Warren Buffett never invested in any of the tech companies. I think
Yeah.
his first investment was probably Apple, which is technically not a tech company, but
Yeah.
that's when he ventured into that. Yeah.
Apple Fruit Company.
Yeah, so it's a good fruit company. He made a lot of billions of dollars with that fruit.
So anyway, Warren says that Microsoft is a sensational company, and he even expressed some sort of regret that he didn't invest in it earlier.
Yeah.
So, well, should we? There are two options: either go into sustainability, or we can start from investment. Your call.
See, I'm an investment guy. So if you ask me about this option, what will I pick?
It's just way to start. We can start from sustainability and then go move into finance, or we can start from finance and move into sustainability.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a finance guy, so I'll start with finance. You shouldn't ask me this.
Important
You should
first. Okay,
you you
let's.
you you should jump into it without asking me. Okay.
Okay, let's start from finance and then we
Okay.
can go and talk about everything else.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay. I think the Microsoft is here.
Third one.
Right. So our app will show you the fair valuation for Microsoft. So at this point, based on the 10K financial reports for 2024, we estimate that the fair value of Microsoft is close to 200. Now, that 200 is based on assumptions that are related to the recent financial performance. So, recently, if you see the income statement, the revenue has been growing at this rate. So, if you to take an average of this, you will end up with 10%. So, we can make an educated guess that Microsoft is worth or is probably going to grow at 10% in the next 5 years. And that's why we see 10% here, and I've capped it at 10%, so that if a company is growing faster than 10%, we want to be more realistic. And then the terminal growth rate is 4%, and the discount rate is 10%, and that's the
Yeah.
reason why we have 200. Now it's up to the user. Yeah, go on.
Tell me a little bit about more about this page and this estimator. What are you trying to achieve by showing that fair value estimate and stock price together on this page, and why?
So I'll compare this with real estate because that's something people easily understand. So let's say you want to buy a property and you see that the market price of the property is 500, close to 500, as in this case.
Yeah.
Let's say 500,000, right? But then what is the actual real value of the property based on where it's located, all the things surrounding that property, so on and so forth, right? And when you do that estimate on your own based on facts and numbers, you might say, okay, this is only worth 200,000 at this moment, right? And these are also based on assumptions about the future growth of that location. So you might get a new building or new airport or whatever. And it's the same analogy. So that's what we are using here. Based on current financial fundamentals, we are deciding or assuming that the fair value estimate is 200, and we have a cash flow model in the backend, which is mathematically sound and it's been proven, and that's what we use to come up with the value of 200. And it gives the user a clear perspective of what the current real value is, and it's up to the user. They can go ahead and change these numbers. If they are more bullish about Microsoft, they can change from 10% to 12% and re-estimate. And when we do that, you get 216. Now, if you are really bullish and say 15% and 5% terminal growth, and then re-estimate, it gets you to 300, right? So on and so forth. Users have the option to change these numbers, and it's their decision whether to invest or not.
All right. So no fluff, just facts. So but why people are still buying stocks for like Microsoft for 497?
Yeah, it's one of two things. They are extremely bullish about the company,
Yeah.
and they also feel that it's a safe company to invest. So the likelihood of Microsoft going bankrupt is very low.
Yeah.
And if you invest now, even now, it's not that you're going to lose money in the long run. Maybe in 10 years, the stock might double. When something doubles, you're getting a 7% return over a 10-year period. Now, most people might be happy with just 7%. But if you want to get more percentage returns, then you may want to wait for a much lower value. Like if you invest at 200, for example, if Microsoft comes down to 200 for whatever reason, now if the company grows at 10%, you will also get the 10%, most likely,
Yeah.
right? And you could double your money in 7 years instead of 10 years. So it's all
Yeah.
up to the user.
Question. Try to guess at what percentage Microsoft should grow to match current stock price.
Yeah, so we can, this is just guessing.
You're
I don't
guessing,
know.
okay, yeah.
I'm guessing, right?
Okay,
I'm
you say
guessing this.
25, I'm saying 30.
Okay. Okay, I think you
Okay,
might be right.
25.
You might be
You
right.
4 to 2. Just let's check who's closer. I'm saying 30.
You are closer. Actually,
I'm closer. Yay!
yeah.
I won
That's what
this
it is,
game.
right? So you won this game, assuming that Microsoft will grow 30%. But based on recent financials, we already saw that
Yeah.
30% is probably too bullish. But again, you never know. They might come up with something new.
Yeah, who knows? And here we have that discount rate is 10%, right? And you can change it to 11 or 12%, right? Or
So
what the
discount
range?
rate is directly linked to the risk of the company. And since Microsoft is one of the AAA rated companies
Yeah.
along with Johnson and Johnson, there are only two AAA rated companies based on my knowledge. And that's why the risk factor is a bit lower for Microsoft. If I was looking at some other company, I would raise this risk factor to 12% maybe. For example, a financial bank or something like that, I might raise
Yeah.
it to 12. And generally speaking, for the market, stock market, 10% is reasonable.
Yeah. Alrighty. That's great. So basically, we have here what people say. This is current price. Have here what financials say. That is fair value estimate, and we can make our assumptions on what's the growth rate is, right?
And also, we have this help, pop up. You can get in and actually check what these values mean. And and one of the things about discount rate is money now is more valuable,
Yeah.
right? Because it's called time value of money. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, if I'm a little bit more advanced, right, and I actually want to dive a little bit deeper, dig little bit deeper, and understand more about the financials behind the company and where the 500 come from or whatever fair value estimate come from. Where would I go? What would I do?
So usually, I would get into the price chart to just check the historical performance of the
Yeah.
company when compared to the market. So as you see in the last 5 years, very close to the market. The market here is the S&P 500. And then the last 10
Yeah.
years, it's performed much better than the market. So there's something good happening when it comes to Microsoft, over the last 10 years, because they are making more revenue than they used to in the past. And that's because of the cloud revolution. And this will give an indicator that Microsoft is doing much better than the market. And then you go into the financials, the recent financials, to figure out what's happening. You see the revenue growing, and then you also look at the cash flow, and you see in the last 3 years the cash flow has been solid. It's overall it's growing, and you can also look at the balance sheet, how much debt they have, so on and so forth. And when it comes to debt, they only have 42 billion. They can easily pay that off using their free cash flow. If you want more metrics, you can still check the all metrics tab, which contains everything else. And you can see the dividends, and Microsoft is also paying a good, healthy dividend for several years, right? When the stock price was low, we even had a dividend yield of 3.22%. But since the stock price has been growing much faster, if you see after the financial crisis, it's been positive and very positive, and that's why the dividends is not able to catch up with the growth, and so the yield has dropped to 0.73. But still, the dividend has not been cut for several years. I don't see any cut at all. So it's a good dividend stock, but the yield is pretty low.
Yeah. Look, when I go to other stocks analytic websites, it's usually like you have more numbers on one page. Um, and here it's like not that much when it's like simple. Why did you design the platform in this way?
So I've used most of these platforms, and the main reason I go there is to figure out whether this company is a good buy now, or should I, if I already own the company, should I continue holding it, or if things are bad, should I sell it, right? So these are the only three options we have.
Yeah.
And to come to a quick decision, there are only few metrics I always go to. And that's what I decided, if it would be good if we have a platform which gives those key metrics to you. And if you need more depth, you can still look at the financials and figure out those ratios or whatever, right? And
Yeah.
also, talking about the price chart, I gave a dividend adjusted price chart, which you don't find in other places. And the 5-year return might be a bit different or lower when you look at another website. And as an investor, I want to know the exact returns that I would have received from Microsoft over a period of time. And these are trying to address the pain points that I used to have when I visited all these other websites with so much information. It just confuses the user than giving them what they need, especially retail investors.
Yeah, it's just too much fluff and not, and you
There is
get
valuable
too
information.
distracted.
It's
It
just
just you
too much
get
of distraction. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You just need to focus on basics, basically, right? Okay, cool. So in terms of dividends, if I'm a dividend investor, so is it the company I would consider, or you would say that there are other better companies in terms of dividends?
Microsoft has always been a good dividend stock just because, as I told you earlier, the price has been rapidly increasing. It doesn't look like a great dividend stock, but it is. And you will not go wrong by investing in Microsoft, even at this price. I know the dividend yield is low, but since the growth rate is too high, if you look at the growth rate of the dividends, it's almost 10% every year, and it was even much higher since 2011. If you see, you had double-digit growth. And considering the growth, even if you invest now, probably in 10 years, if they continue with the same 10% growth, it would make a big difference for a dividend investor. So if you're a long-term dividend investor, even a low percentage is good as long as the dividend increases are close to 10%. So I would say Microsoft is one of the best dividend stocks and also a very good growth stock. So it's a great combo at this point.
Yeah, so for let's say if I want to invest in Microsoft, what would be your suggestion? Just check when the price would go down.
And one more reason why the price is so high, again, as I said, it's a great dividend stock. And even at this price, people might be interested in investing it as it
Yeah,
is a dividend stock. So, as I said, you won't go wrong even if you buy now, but
yeah.
the risk of losing money is higher. Let's say we have a recession or some negative news in the market, the stock usually reverts to the mean. So, we know that the fair price is close to 200. There's a high possibility that when something is overvalued, it will fall faster to the fair value than some stock which is already at fair value. The drop might be higher for Microsoft compared to other stocks. So if you as an investor are willing to take that risk, it's fine to get in now, or you wait until it goes to a proper value which is closer to the fair value.
Okay, now my turn, right? ESG. Well, with my friend I did check company sustainability report. By the way, they did release sustainability report 2025 already, and it is quite good. Just a second, I'm just finding the greenwashing score. 35% of greenwashing. It still
Okay.
says like moderate greenwashing, but if I'm comparing with many other companies which I was checking, and now maybe we can rate the company on our scoring system, our perception collector. ESG perception collector. Actually, many investors are very focused on financials, and they're saying, "Oh, ESG investing is it was a trend, but not anymore." But I would say we can consider it to be non-financial material factors. So whenever an investor is considering a company to invest in, these are the factors that he would look at. So how good is the management? What about operations? Do they care about their employees? Do they have enough resources to care of the world around? Do they actually try to align their operations with global problems and legislation? Do they care about their suppliers? Do they invest in innovations? So yeah, and let's rate Microsoft. So no poverty. Our scoring guide. In many other scoring guides, you would say that the higher the score, the higher the risk. In our case, the higher the score, the better the company. So 1, it means company is not doing well and worsen the problem. And 10, it means that it improves the world. 5 would be somewhere like neutral. So my very academic explanation.
So, another way of looking at ESG is not just, improving the world, so to speak, it's also to improve the business itself. And
That's
by
right.
trying to be more sustainable, the operations will be more efficient. And by doing that, the profit margin will increase. And also being sustainable means being ethical, for example, right? Treating
Yeah.
your employees fairly and so on and so forth. So that will also help the business make more money in the long run, and also will attract good talent to the business.
Yeah, absolutely. When employees are also proud of working in the
Working there, yeah.
company, it makes a big difference. And companies which are tackling the global issues, they are great to work for.
Yep.
I would be proud.
Yes.
All right, enough. No poverty. What's your guess? What's your guess?
Microsoft has helped people, get out of poverty by creating the Microsoft Windows software, which has revolutionized all industries, right? So yeah, I'll give it some credit. I would say 7.
AI is saying 5, but it is saying only on environmental report, and because in environmental report there is no direct poverty elevation, as well as if we are talking about zero hunger and those things, there is nothing about food security or agriculture. But
That's a difference between human way of thinking and AI.
exactly. That's why I would say I would agree with you regarding no poverty, and I would give 7. But with zero hunger, I would still keep it as 5.
But you should also take into account what Bill Gates is doing, who's the founder of Microsoft. He has been doing so much across the planet to get rid of hunger in his own way, right? The philanthropic effects and all that. So
Yeah.
I would go with 6 at least.
All right. Just let's give credits to
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. Well, and then good health and well-being. What do you think?
Yeah, it kind of ties to these first two, and I would say at least 6 because it has improved, the science required to identify or come up with new medicines, right? So you need computer power to come up with more innovative pharmaceutical ideas.
I agree 100%. Even AI rated that as 5 because there is nothing in the sustainability report.
Okay.
But again, I would agree because it actually helps the world. What about quality education?
My vote is 8 because I learned a lot using Windows. I know it's just an operating system,
Yes.
but it is one of the cheapest operating systems available. And then for me, it was a game changer.
Yes, 100%. And again, AI rated that as 5.
Well, I go at least 7.
No, I would get 8 for
Okay,
sure.
8 for sure.
Come
Okay.
on, they have so much materials. How do you learn
Yeah, it's
the
it's a
world right now?
portal. It's a portal for knowledge.
Yes, yes. Then there is gender equality, and I would say that as the company actually revolutionize the planet in many ways, I would give it like maybe 7 because
I agree.
using Microsoft products, yeah, maybe they don't have any like policies and something that they do like philanthropic stuff, right? But the products that they are creating, they're actually helping women to work from home and take care of kids, and it helps quite a lot. But again, AI rated as 5 because there is nothing mentioned in the environmental report. Yeah, and then clean water and sanitation. What do you think?
Well, again, Bill Gates is working tirelessly to get clean water wherever possible, and he's investing a lot in the technology. So I would give at least 7. Yeah.
AI gave even 8 because there
Okay, cool.
is 1.5 million people gained water and sanitation access. A company pursuing a water positive 2030 goal and fundraising AI driven basin replenishment project. AI driven sounds cool. 8. I'm voting for 8. Then affordable and clean energy. I jump on it here because there is something mentioned in environmental report. It's like 34 gigawatts of carbon-free electricity contracted across 24 countries. 19 gigawatts of new PPAs. What is PPA? Power plant, I think it's like power plant something. It's more like they're giving AI is giving 7, not greater than that, because scope 2 is still not under their control. But I would give credits to Microsoft that they're mentioning that in their report. They're actually not just saying, they're looking at not just at scope 1, but they're looking at scope 2, which is like not outside of their company and outside of their control, which is great. Okay, next one, decent work and economic growth. What do
This
you
is
think?
a straightforward 8 or even 9 because we all know how Microsoft has contributed to economic growth across the planet. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree, but it is higher than AI says. AI says 6.
I don't even want to know what AI has suggested because
Yeah,
this is more a perception of the user who is using this application, and I think we will more
I
focus
agree.
on what you and I think rather than AI because there's a lot of disagreement with AI now.
100%. Now, industry innovation and infrastructure. Absolutely high without
Higher,
AI.
yeah, 9.
9, yeah. And it's like AI optimized, low carbon, zero water cooling data centers and circular building materials, blah, 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 blah. A lot of R&D.
Yeah, um, it's tying back to the other items here like gender equity, zero hunger, quality education, no poverty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably self-explanatory. At least 7 or 8.
Yeah. Next one, sustainable cities and communities. Well, AI says 6, and the explanation would be campus data center project driven 85% plus construction waste and adoption circular design, reducing local impact. So, yeah.
Well, I agree this time. Okay.
It's like, how to say, detector of
AI truth detector.
AI truth detector. AI checker. Responsible consumption and production. All these companies are quite great, by the way, with this. They have zero waste roadmap, 90% reuse recycling of cloud hardware, 85.3 C&D waste diversion. CAD, I'm not sure what it is. And 98.8 recyclable packaging. Great, everything is measured. I guess it is with decimal. I guess they actually did measure.
Yeah.
So 8.
Okay. Fine. My perspective is they have contributed to a lot of electronic waste in the past. So I know they are trying hard now. I would go with 7, but 8.
Let's
8
go
is okay.
with no. I trust you more than AI.
No, I'm just saying. It's just I'm thinking. They have to somehow wash away their past sins. Right?
Okay, we will penalize them.
Yeah.
All right. Next one, climate action. So, they have 2030 carbon negative pledge, 30 MT of removals contracted, 34 gigawatts CFC. Okay, that's too complicated. They just keep talking about something in their
Well, let's
mission.
just say they're doing great.
They're doing something. So 7.
7. Yeah.
Life below water. Well, below water, just 5. Just keep it as 5. Life above water. So again, they do have actively protected, but something about biodiversity monitoring in data center. What sort of biodiversity in data centers? I don't really understand, but they give it 7. Peace, justice, and strong institution. 5. That's what
I know Microsoft was involved in a lot of issues in the past. Now it's fine, but things happen in the past.
Yeah. And last one, partnership. And I think all these large corporations are doing great. So 8.
Yeah. And also about strong institutions, peace and justice. I think they might be perceived as a monopoly because Microsoft is ubiquitous in most areas. Anyway.
That's right. Let's submit and see what it's gonna give us.
Okay, so we have environment score of 68, social is 72, governance is 66, and a median score. The overall score is 68, but the median is 52. We get more users, our median score will increase, or will get to a fair value.
Yeah. So we are more bullish about ESG scores for the company. Cool. So what can I say? That was a great chat, and we will keep looking at the companies. I think that Microsoft is the one to look at maybe one more time. And the weather is horrible today in Sydney. It's awful, and I will be riding motorbike home. Looking forward to that. Bye for now.